what do you make of the presser? It was kind of light-hearted today. It was a strange vibe. How was it like? What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was alright. It's like any other press conference, really. We're both experienced fighters, and it's only talking. The real action happens when we're fighting. So I noticed there was some, like mentions about he's going for my eye again, and different comments and stuff. But I don't know whether that's tactical there or not. Then it hasn't really affected me because it's just gonna talk cheap, and the real action happens in the ring.
I guess you would expect him to target the eye, the problem area from the first fight. I guess that's not really news for you either.
Nah, that's not. And him saying that, he could be bluffing or double bluffing. So let's see what. You can only deal with who's in front of you on fight night.
You just tell me a bit about what it was like in the aftermath, the immediate aftermath of that fight, your first defeat of your career, difficult circumstances. How long did it take you to sort of shake that off?
Yeah, it took me like 1 or 2 weeks after, especially the week after I was watching the fight, and there's a big difference between winning and losing, because when you win, everyone wants to kind of be around you, or get interviews and such, and especially directly after the fight, everyone's happy and celebrating your victory. But when you lose, it's a different kind of feeling. And
did you notice that?
Yeah, there's a clear difference.
What's it? Because people say the losing dressing room's always empty compared to when you're winning. Did you notice that even after that fight?
Yeah, and it was tough to take actually, and especially in myself as well, looking at it back, and also seeing just disappointment.
And I know that you had to sort of change some things in the camp based on what happened in the first fight. When did that happen? At what point was that when you flew back to Vegas? You had sort of a meeting about it? Can you paint us a picture how that went down?
Well, we had chats over Zoom.
Did you?
And there's a lot of an analysis of the fights and stuff leading up to before I got back. So it already kind of had quite a clear image of what I needed to do and the changes I need to make. And I was as soon as I touched down in Vegas, I was focused and ready in getting the best out of my time there. And I had a little bit more say in things, and took a more of an active role in my camp as well. So there's a lot of changes and things to put right.
What practical changes were made? Can you tell us what was different this time around to the first Zhang camp?
Just I don't know, more dedication. And
was it?
Yeah, I think it was more the same, but it was just better. And there's certain things here and there that didn't go so well that made changes and made them better.
Zhang said in the presser there that he's going to beat you into retirement. He said, your career's on the line. Do you agree that it's that stark, that dramatic, this fight? Is there that much on the line for you?
Oh yes, but I'm going to win this fight. I'm not looking to lose, so it's irrelevant what he can say. It's not having any effect on me. And you can say all what you want, but as soon as that bell rings, then it's a physical sport. He's trying the mental game with me, but my mental game is strong. So you can you can chat shit till the fucking cows come home. I'm not bothered.
And of course, on the line here is the interim title again, the interim WBO, which means that you win, and then you will be called as a mandatory middle of next year at some point. We know Oleksandr Usyk didn't have it all his own way against Daniel Dubois. Are you even more convinced after watching that he's a beatable heavyweight champion?
Yeah, everyone's beatable with 2 arms and 2 legs. I think he milked it with that question mark low blow body shot. I thought it was on the belt line, but yeah, in the moment the referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. I think he played up to it and showed he could be hurt to the body. So yeah, but yeah, he was winning the fight clearly up until that point, and that could have changed the course of the fight if they hadn't reacted so much about that.
Do you think that shows a clear sort of opportunity or a chink in the armour of Usyk?
Yeah, maybe, but then obviously afterwards he's going to be working on that more so because he knows his weakness has been exposed. So maybe he's going to work more on that area, and I don't know. Let's see.
Drug testing in boxing, obviously a massive story at the moment. Conor Benn returning. I just wondered, for this camp, have you been tested extensively?
Yeah.
What was the processing?
Yeah, tested in Vegas, tested here by two governing bodies, same as last time. And after the
So
fight,
is that UCAD and VADA?
yeah. So after the fight, I'm gonna have to produce 2 samples for each, which is crazy. So I mean, it's hard enough peeing once, let alone peeing twice for them.
Is that? And in your position, particularly as a heavyweight, you know that you've been tested, so therefore you know the other guy has to be clean as well. So that must be a comfortable position for you in that sense.
Yeah, it's comfortable. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course it's more comfortable to being, having the fairness in sport. But I've been in the GB team, so I've been on UK anti-doping before, so especially when you get to a high level, so I'm well used to it. And yeah, I think it's important in sport, especially where like guys are trying to take each other's heads off, and there's getting punched in the head, and it's a contact sport, so if someone's got an unfair advantage using substances, then that's very dangerous.
Just finally, Joe, what's your prediction for this fight? Obviously, Zhang-Joyce wins, but how would you picture it? Like, what do you visualise when you think about this rematch?
I visualise being like moving my head a little bit more, landing more punches and getting to him and taking it to the later rounds and then beating him, knocking him out.
You think late round, the sort of Joe-Joyce way?
Yeah, a lot more. But it's a different kind of battle because he's a southpaw and he's a skilled southpaw. So there's a lot more tactics and know-how that needs to go into beating him.